Okay, so this is the Chapter 5 end quiz. It's not over the whole chapter, so it's not really a test, but it is the end quiz because it's over the second half of the chapter. For numbers 1 and 2, you're supposed to solve the proportion. So for number 1, you could just do the mental math. For number 2, you're either going to have to use cross products, or you could simplify the first ratio and then use mental math. For 3 and 4, remember you're finding the slope of the line. Rise over run works for both of these. Remember to simplify. Once you get it as a fraction form, simplify it. Or you could do the change in y over the change in x. Remember, y is the second number in the ordered pair. X is the first number. So subtract the y numbers for the top. Subtract the x numbers for the bottom. That also gives you the slope. Now you try them. For number 5, it says graph the data and then find the slope. So if you print this off, or if you have some graph paper laying around, you could totally graph this data and find the slope. Remember, it's rise over run, or change in y over change in x. Since you know it's just the change in y over the change in x, I guess you could probably just find the slope from the table it gives you there, subtracting two y values for the change in y, and subtracting the corresponding x values for the change in x. Change in y over change in x gives you the slope. For numbers 6 and 7, notice there's two problems at the bottom here. For number 6, you're finding whether it shows direct variation. The way we did that is just to substitute 0 in for y and in for x and see if that's a true statement. If it is, it shows direct variation. If it doesn't work out, then it does not show direct variation. And for number 7, the graph, you're supposed to be able to tell if it shows direct variation just by looking and seeing, does that graph go through a certain place? If it does, it shows direct variation. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Now you do those. For numbers 8, 9, and 10, you're answering questions about the graph. So first, for number 8, find and interpret the slope of the U line. You could do rise over run, pay attention to how much those units are going up or over, or you could do change in y over change in x. Or, because this goes through the origin, remember you can just choose any of the points and put the y value over the x value. The y value being the second number and the x value being the first. I would simplify it to the unit rate. First of all, that's the answer that's on the test. And second of all, it makes number 10 so much easier. For number 9, you're finding and interpreting the slope of the friend line in the same way that you did the U line. And for number 10, how much faster are you traveling than your friend? Well, if you look at the slope of the U line and the friend line, that should be a pretty easy question to answer. You got these.